Anyway, so this is what's going on in Google. I have friends in tech, like very high up in tech, that are monitoring the situation. He said, whoa, all right. He says, I got this email, Ides of March are on there, prepping now. Dear advertiser, in February 2024, Google will update the inappropriate content policy to clarify the definition of sensitive events. A sensitive event is an unforeseen event or development that creates significant risk to Google's ability to provide high quality, relevant information and ground truth and reduce insensitive or exploitative content and prominent and monetized features. During a sensitive event, we may take a variety of actions to address these risks. Examples of sensitive events include significant social, cultural, or political impacts, such as civil emergencies, natural disasters, public health emergencies, terrorism, and related activities, conflict, or mass acts of violence. Examples of what's prohibited: products or services that exploit, dismiss, or condone the sensitive event, including price gouging or artificially inflating prices that prohibits, restricts access to vital supplies, sales of products, blah, blah. Okay. So my buddy's like, it's on. They're prepping. They're ready to do it. And I said, what does that mean? He said, Google is changing their terms of service to get ready for a major event, controlling the way advertisers and publishers are allowed to talk about it in very specific ways. Hints as to what the event is are in the text. They mention inflation, price gouging, mass violence, victim blaming, and a bunch of stuff. Just read the text of it. So they will be able to turn off and shut down anyone using Google Ads, publishers, content creators, advertisers that don't toe the line in the next unforeseen event. They call it a sensitive event. This would include all advertising on Google Search, AdSense, YouTube. They say that they are about to make these changes to the TOS, but when you go to the website to see the new TOS, they aren't updated yet. They're getting prepped. I'm sure they have lawyers working on this, internal training going on, putting special moderators in place. Okay, so what I predict, which I'm never totally right on, but I usually rhyme, like I'm usually within the ballpark, is some form of banking collapse that will be controlled. Like, don't be afraid of any of this shit, guys, at all. So no access to money in a bank for maybe a week. They don't want to go too long because they don't want to actually lose the system. They want you guys to stay alive and functional. They just want you really afraid. And then the solution will be central bank digital currency sent directly to your phone and universal basic income. But you'll still, and to bring that about, they may have to do an event, because every major move needs a story behind it, whether it was 9/11 or COVID-19 or whatever it is.
Most importantly, if you have an extra room or suite in your home, please consider hosting a family. Safe housing and shelter is our most pressing need.
Oh, okay.
Become a sponsor family. Oh. You can contact the Brazilian Workers Center for more information on how you can step up if you're willing to have an additional family be part of your family.
Oh, okay.
If you're a local official, a college president, a business owner, or a faith leader with an available building or space in your community, please work with us to offer it as a shelter site.
Cool.
If you're a social service provider, please consider becoming an emergency assistance homeless shelter provider. Our resources are stretched thin there as well.
Sure.
If you're a hotel or a motel owner, consider opening it up for emergency assistance.
Sure.
If you're a landlord or a property owner, we can use you too and connect you with service providers to help transition families into permanent housing.
I'm a landlord.
Everyone has something they can offer.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. We have
Listen to this.
Diaspora that can
They're saying it out loud now.
a significant number of these migrants. And when I hear colleagues talk about, the doors of the inn being closed, no room in the inn, I'm saying, I need more people in my district, but just for redistricting purposes.
What we're concerned about is people who are exposed to the elements, especially, 24/7 sleeping outdoors.
We have reached a critical point in our city's migrant situation. Cold weather and snow have arrived. More than 3,000 new arrivals still don't have a roof over their heads. Casey Cronus is on the near north side with the latest.
Warm Alarming buses are parked outside of 21 police districts across the city tonight, including here at District 18, where migrant families are still sleeping in tents on the cold and wet concrete. Despite the smiles and snowballs that came with experiencing flurries for the first time, a pressing situation is becoming more urgent by the day and by the degree.
Even at 50 degrees Fahrenheit, you can develop hypothermia with prolonged exposure or with wet clothing.
About 2 weeks ago, Beth Amadio, president and CEO of One Warm Coat, was contacted by the city.
We have been told that some of the migrant families are getting off of the bus with their feet still wet.
Her organization is one of several that officials are partnering with.
Whether that's, making sure that people have access to coats, gloves, even shoes. Sometimes people are arriving in flip-flops.
But long-term solutions are desperately needed. One mother of two from Venezuela, who asked that we protect her identity, says Tuesday's cold has been okay, but living like this is not what she expected.